As you hear these words now, you can begin to notice how silence already exists, even beneath the noise. Because the truth is, noise isn't what you think it is. Noise is only the lair, the cover-up, the camouflage. And silence is the ground beneath it, always waiting, always steady. Like the earth under asphalt. No matter how many roads we lay, the soil is still there. And I wonder if you've already realised people addicted to noise aren't afraid of silence at all. They're afraid of what silence reveals. Like a mirror that doesn't flatter. Like a flashlight sweeping across the attic, showing all the dust and spiders that were there all along. Imagine an old radio. You turn the dial and hear static. At first you think the static is the problem, but then you realise the static is proof the signal exists. Because static without signal doesn't exist. So the very thing you thought you feared was only pointing you to what you really wanted. And when you keep tuning, carefully, patiently, the music emerges. And isn't it interesting? Your unconscious mind already knows how to tune itself. You've been doing it since birth, learning language, walking, adapting, absorbing. And now you can let that part of you do what it does best. Find the signal beneath the static. And as you think about this now, notice how noise isn't a comfort, it's a crutch. And every crutch makes muscles weaker. And silence is the gym where your mind lifts its own weight. So when you step into silence, whether for a moment or an hour, your mind gets stronger, clearer, sharper. Which means avoiding silence isn't just fear, it's weakness training. And embracing silence is strength training. And you already know, do you not, that strength is far more valuable than weakness. There's a child who hears monsters in the dark. She keeps the TV on. The light's bright, the noise constant. But one day the power goes out, and in that silence she waits for the monster. It doesn't come. Instead she hears her own breath. And her own breath is steady, and she realises the monster was never in the dark. It was in her imagination. And when she learns that, the dark becomes a friend, and silence becomes freedom. And you can remember that now, because your own fears, they're like those monsters, loud when you resist, silent when you face them. And you might notice tomorrow, when you find yourself scrolling pointlessly, or filling the air with chatter, that a part of you pauses, remembers, and chooses, even for just one breath, to let silence in. And each time you do that, your unconscious rewards you with a new kind of clarity, a new kind of calm. And soon, without effort, silence feels like power, because silence is power. Neuroscience tells us the default mode network quiets in silence, and new neural pathways light up. Physics tell us destructive interference cancels noise, leaving only the resonance that matters. Philosophy tells us the unexamined life isn't worth living, and silence is the exam room. Spirit tells us if you can't sit with yourself, why should the universe sit with you? So here's the deal. You can keep drowning yourself in noise, numbing the fuck out, and watch your life shrink into a hamster wheel of distraction. Or you can grow a spine, sit your ass down in silence, and face the static until it burns off. Because on the other side of static is signal. On the other side of fear is freedom. On the other side of distraction is destiny. And the only person who can cross that line is you. So as you think back now about the radio tuning, the child in the dark, the gym of silence, you can already feel how each metaphor points to the same truth. Silence isn't the enemy. Noise isn't the cure. The static was never dangerous. It was only the doorway. And when you walk through that doorway without running, without numbing, you meet yourself. And isn't it fascinating that when you finally meet yourself, you discover you're not a stranger at all, but the one you've been waiting for. And now your unconscious can begin the process naturally, effortlessly. To use silence as a teacher, to hear static as a signal, to crave stillness as strength. And every day, in every way, you can allow yourself to remember. Noise hides you. Silence reveals you. And you were born to be revealed.